Okay, let's dive in. There's this really significant finding we need to talk about today, reversing age-related memory loss.
Right. And crucially, not by targeting brain cells directly.
Exactly. The focus was entirely on the immune system. We're looking closely at a study from Nature Aging for this deep dive.
Yeah, and our mission here really is to unpack how the immune system isn't just peripheral, it's a key player in how our brains age. The old idea of the brain being totally separate, it's just not holding up.
It's really shifting. And these researchers, they zeroed in on a very specific location and cell type.
Hmm.
They looked at the brain's protective layers, the meninges, and within those layers, specific immune cells called dendritic cells.
The ones expressing that CD11C protein marker.
That's the one, found right there in those membranes surrounding the brain and spinal cord.
And here's the problem they identified. In older mice, these particular dendritic cells, they weren't working properly. They become, well, aged.
Age how? What does that mean in this context?
It means they started pumping out a lot more pro-inflammatory signals, just creating this constant low-level inflammation.
Like static noise in the system.
Exactly. And this inflammation was directly linked to the mice having trouble with memory, with learning, basically cognitive decline.
Okay, so they found the culprit, these aged inflammatory dendritic cells in the meninges. What do they do about it?
Well, the intervention was pretty bold. They cultivated young, healthy dendritic cells in the lab from healthy mice.
Right.
And then they transplanted these youthful cells directly into the cerebrospinal fluid, the CSF, of the aged mice.
So straight into the fluid, bathing the brain and those meninges.
Precisely, giving those new cells direct access to that environment.
Yeah, the results.
Pretty remarkable, actually. The older mice that got the transplant, they showed significant improvements, memory, learning. They started performing much more like younger mice on cognitive tests.
Wow, so it wasn't just a small effect.
No, it was substantial. And it wasn't just behavior. Their brains actually showed physical changes, too.
Mm-hmm.
Less inflammation, obviously, but also signs of increased connections between neurons, better connectivity.
Okay, so how did this work? What's the mechanism? It's not like these few transplanted cells replace all the old ones, right?
No, not at all. It seems like the young cells kind of rebooted the local immune environment within the meninges.
Rebooted?
Yeah, like they reset the system.
Yeah.
The old aged cells weren't just inflamed, they were apparently bad at basic cleanup duties, too. Cellular debris, waste products, stuff that needs clearing out.
Ah, so the young cells came in and basically restored the janitorial services.
That's a good way to put it. They helped restore order, clearing out the junk and calming down the inflammation. It effectively rejuvenated that whole microenvironment around the brain.
Which in turn allowed the brain cells to function better.
Exactly. Now, this connects to the bigger picture and maybe a challenge. The delivery was directly into the CSF.
Right. Very targeted.
Does that mean just say an IV injection wouldn't work? It really highlights how crucial that specific location, the meninges, might be.
That's a key point. And it points toward the future directions, doesn't it? Translating this to people.
Definitely. And one major hurdle is using donor cells. The goal is really to figure out how to reprogram a patient's own immune cells.
Take their own aged dendritic cells, maybe.
Potentially. Or other precursor cells. Take them out, rejuvenate them in the lab, send them back to boot camp, like you said, and then put them back into the patient's CSF.
That would avoid all the issues with donors and the potential applications. I mean, you think about diseases like Alzheimer's.
Absolutely. We know neuroinflammation is a huge factor in Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative conditions. If we can manage that immune environment in the meninges, well, that's a potentially powerful new angle. It's shifting focus.
So the final takeaway here for you listening, maybe the secret to keeping our brains sharp as we age isn't just about the neurons themselves.
It might be just as much about managing the health of the immune system standing guard right outside them in those protective layers.
Which leaves us with a provocative thought. If cognitive decline is, at least partly, this localized immune failure, how might that change how we think about preventing it? Could things like monitoring the immune health of the meninges become routine someday, maybe years, before any memory problems even start?
That's the question, isn't it? Could we intervene much, much earlier by focusing on immune health in that specific area? A profound implication, really.